happy that we have Dr. Ali now today with us. And now you can see him. So welcome again. This is the second session in which we discuss American culture or English culture, in which we have the perspectives of Iraqis about the world outside. So now I'll give the floor to Dr. Ali after he finished his phone call, and then he'll start talking about his experience in Britain. The floor is yours. Hi.
Good morning, everybody. And I also would like to apologize for the delay that unfortunately was unavoidable, which happened today. Today, as my colleague, Dr. Hartman, thankfully has prepared the ground for me, I'm going to tell you very briefly, I hope, about my experience with studying abroad. I was one of those lucky people to obtain a scholarship from the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research to pursue my graduate studies abroad. And I chose to study at UK at a British university because my background is about English literature. So it is normal and readily for us that we choose either the United States or United Kingdom as a study destination for us. So my experience actually, it was very exciting, very thrilling. And by all means, I assure you that studying abroad is the most challenging test that you may ever face in your study career or in life. And for example, when I traveled to the United Kingdom and joined my university there, I was thrilled and filled also with a lot of potentials, with a lot of dreams, with so many things that were going on in my mind. To tell you the truth, I was kind of afraid, I was scared, I was worried about the things lying ahead of me, because my journey there was not as you might expect. It's not as easy as you might expect. It was filled with challenges, difficulties, some kind of thrilling things. But day by day, I managed to cope up with everything that was going on either in the British community or in the university life itself. So I started my studies back in 2013. And I was actually lucky that my supervisor was very kind and very understanding person. He started with me in a very effective thing that any British supervisor starts with in terms of your studies as a foreign student is to start with you from the scratch. Starting from scratch involves a lot of things. For example, you need to forget everything almost that you studied in your home country. The British tendency towards foreign students is to start with them from as if they had zero knowledge about the specific subject you are going to study in or you are going to focus on. So my supervisor actually started with me in a very effective way, as I said. And I was actually in a couple of assignments the first day I started my studies. And I gradually became aware of the things required either by the university or by the supervisor. Unlike the things going on here in Iraq, in the United Kingdom, and I think it's the same everywhere else, in the United Kingdom, the supervisor is the key element, is the key player in your studies. He or she is the number one responsible person for your studies. He controls the university, he controls the systems, he even controls the funds or the money given to participate in any relevant activities that are related to your studies. So, the first thing I learned about study abroad is that you need urgently and very badly, you need to satisfy your supervisors in any way possible, because they are, the supervisors are the very persons who are responsible entirely even for your personal life. I know this is something that is happening here in Iraq, but it's entirely different in the Western universities. So the things that the difficulties, one of the difficulties that I faced there, because I'm coming from a Middle Eastern background. I come from Iraq. You know, Iraq is a problematic country. We've been under UN sanctions for almost more than a decade, more than 13 years. So the point is, when I joined my studies at the University of Leicester back in the Kingdom, I found a huge gap between our knowledge and theirs. So my first priority, my number one responsibility was to fill in that knowledge gap, which took me almost a year. By the way, this is something normal. This is something that you expect as an Iraqi student, because we are actually, and unfortunately, we are, we consider them ourselves as a way behind the advancements or the technologies or even the knowledge or the literary theories that are happening abroad. So the first thing that you are going to face if you decide to join a Western university in particular is to fill in the knowledge gap that you inevitably suffering from because of the political circumstances that Iraq has undergone, unfortunately. But I consider myself actually, and I also consider my colleagues who did the same degree back in the United Kingdom as survivors. We call ourselves as warriors. And I think, for example, my colleague, Dr. Fatma, shared the same opinion with me. We worked very hard in order to cope up, to get along with our sirs, with our colleagues coming from different countries, and we even stayed nights and days in order to cope with the things that we missed here in Iraq. This is one and the foremost challenge that you are likely to face if you choose to study abroad. The other thing, the other fascinating thing about any Western university is that the Western universities are kind of not only academic hubs, they are not only academic institutions, they are kind of recreation centers. They take care of everything. They care about your psychological aspects. They care about your psychological worries. They even give you advice about your personal issues, troubles, anything that troubles your career. With them, they will be more than happy to give you a hand in this. I actually enjoy life in the university in terms of sports, in terms of offering extra activities and extra curriculums. I even enjoyed visiting very frequently the library, which was a kind of relaxation center for students. It is even provided with some rooms to sleep in, to have a nap if you are tired of focusing and searching for books and materials. This is something that we unfortunately lack here in Iraq. So the other thing that you should take into consideration if you choose to study in a Western university is most of Western universities are kind of academic hubs as well as creation centers. Provide you with lots of things along and your studies. They don't only give you academic qualification or academic degree. They also give you the know-how in terms of solving your own problem, on how to become a successful professor in the future, as well as how to become a successful and effective person in society. As I said before a while ago, because of some geopolitical things that we've been suffering for the last 2 decades here in Iraq, unfortunately, especially in the Western countries, we face the problems of visa. We the governments of Western countries, they tend to impose certain visa restrictions on the citizens of Iraq. However, if you are qualified enough in terms of language, in terms of filling in your application form, in terms of academic background, you will be qualified and you'll be eligible to get a visa without any trouble. So don't worry, please, about the visa if you are qualified and you are fit enough to conduct studies abroad. The other thing that I noticed about holding a PhD program abroad is that the university, and represented, of course, by the supervisor themselves, they also provide you with training courses and with extra activities. For example, you are allowed to travel even outside the country of your country destination, for example, to participate in other relevant activities, conferences, seminars, workshops that are directly or indirectly related to your topic, to your studies. For example, in my case, I was given the opportunity also and given even the financial aid to participate in a literary global conference, very prestigious and excellent conference that was held in France. And I managed to be not only as a speaker, but I managed, for example, to publish an academic paper there. These things, these factors, these activities contribute collectively to make something big out of you, something successful out of you. They work out, so to speak, they work out all the potentials that are hiding in you, that are concealed inside you. So don't worry. You sometimes think yourself as a little number or as someone with limited capabilities. No, you are not. And the experience proved otherwise. For example, I myself, and my colleague, Dr. Fatima, when we had the opportunity to be other persons, to work out to dig out our potentials, we served as very good examples for others. And the good thing, and I conclude my speech with this, the good thing about studying abroad is that you will be provided and you'll be equipped with all the things, with all the materials that enable you to bring about, to make changes in your home country. And this is exactly what we are, me and my colleague and other colleagues coming from Western universities who are graduate from Western universities. We are working very hard and very actually effortlessly in order to bring about changes, to make changes and work here as officials in the Ministry of Higher Education. We provide also language courses, language training, all these things that we acquired from abroad. We are very happily conveying or transporting here to our colleagues here in Iraq. And please pay attention to this. If you choose to study abroad, do not only pay particular attention to getting a certificate or academic qualification. This is kind of partial requirements or partial objective of your study. Pay attention to acquiring the mentality, to bring with you the mentality of the Western countries and try to apply it here, at least, for example, at a family level, work level, and you will find yourselves that you will be leading people towards making changes. Good luck, and inshallah, I will see you soon taking pictures or taking certificates in Western universities that are fit for your background. Good luck and have a nice day.
Well, I posted the link here. If you have any questions, please go ahead, write them down or tell Dr. Ali about them. And then the link for the attendance sheet is posted in the comment box. For people who just joined us, I'll post it again. Go ahead and register your names, please, and we'll wait a few minutes if you have any questions.